Hello and welcome again. So this is the continuation of my original video showcasing the more or less boring parts, even though I have to admit this part isn't particularly interesting or mind-blowing in my personal opinion. Yeah, so this is actually just a general outdoor area. I got the idea of this by just looking at the random formations the Minecraft map generated. These like pyramid style mountains and everything, and I just really enjoyed looking at these, and I thought, well, maybe I could like build a dungeon, sort of like make caves into this thing. So this is actually the end result of that thought. As you can see, I'm just doing a real speed run here since I know where to go and everything, and honestly, I just hate playing through this thing after constructing it since I spent so much time on it that I really don't want to like spend much time here, to be honest. I just want to get through this. Yeah, so you get a torch and some cobblestone. You can open that up, turn the switch. Like I said in the beginning in the tip section, this is something you should look out for. Like if you switch on the bricks, you know that anywhere you've seen bricks, there will be a door or something will happen there. In this case, the door opens, allowing you to pick out a boat that allows you to cross the water, which, as you could see at the beginning, the water is considered poisonous and you can only cross like 3 squares or 3 blocks by foot. I can never kill that chicken. I try so many times killing chickens. They always get away. Damn things. Well, yeah, now that you get the boat, you can get off to the little islands, and like I said, this is just a huge outdoorish area that I like to make, since most of the rest of the dungeon is really confined and underground. So I thought this might be like a nice little change of scenery, at least for the start. So yeah, crossing the water here, you can get out and there will be like this other switch that is on soul sand. A little anecdote on this point, when I first made this, all of the caves were made of dirt, so you couldn't really see the cave entrances, and since I had to place torches because our dear server admin activated monster spawning and I just couldn't work in the dark with monster spawning everywhere, I had to place tons and tons of torches everywhere, so the original lighting to find the entrance didn't work anymore, and my friends in testing nearly flipped out when they said like, dude, I can't fucking figure out where I should go. There's like no way I can, like, where am I? Like, where's the stuff? So I added these on one hand I made the entrances made of cobblestone, or at least something that's different from the dirt you see everywhere, and on the other hand I added this like brick leads to brick thing. Also, I have to point out, like, the switches are mind-blowingly annoying. You wouldn't believe. Making that switch go underwater is like one of the most painful things to do, since like you would dig under, you would dig and you're like, yeah, I'm deep enough, I guess, and then all of a sudden you crash into and the whole tunnel gets flooded and every redstone you place gets washed away, and God, I was pissed off. Well, it doesn't matter anymore. So yeah, you get the TNT whacker here. This is a official term I use, and just so you know, you won't be needing this anymore. This is only for this part, since every part of the dungeon was more or less built without like planning of the first parts of the next part of the dungeon. For example, the huge cube you see on the side is actually the final room and was built before this part was actually built. Also, this is the only chest that is kind of still really dirty, since I just didn't care. I didn't want to blow up the thing again just so I could fix up this chest, so who the fuck cares? Anyway, the only reason there's actually so many items in there was originally because it was built on a survival multiplayer server, and I didn't want to go around filling up every time somebody used a single item, so I just placed loads of items in there so I could reset it more easily. Now, of course, since this is a single player map, in the meantime, there's no real point in this. But it looks pretty, I guess. Also, if you do die for whatever reasons, I mean, you could drown. Probably. yeah. So now that we have the red key, we can go through here, and thanks to Angry Poncho, by the way, at this point, he made a video, 1.5 hour video, in fact, of this dungeon where he showcased most of it, except for the parts where he cheated, because, well, I'm not gonna say anything. He's an awesome guy. And he pointed out like that you could in fact abuse this part, so I actually fixed that. Something else, like everybody who downloaded this version before, you may have run into a few bugs that I, for example, didn't calculate with. For example, the leaf decay really screwed me over at one point, where I had to add wood everywhere. So the leaves wouldn't decay, and which is really annoying at later parts you will see, since the leaves just suddenly disappeared, and at first I was like, well, where the fuck are my leaves, dude? And then I remembered that they disappear now if they're not connected to wood, so I actually had to fix that up. It should be completely bug-free by now. And in fact, you're supposed to swim around, but being the rock stupid, lazy asshole I am, I jumped down here and I totally survived that. No editing here. Anybody who tells you I did this is just purely lying. I swear. Totally. Well, anyway, you have the diamond key now. Diamond keys indicate the end of the dungeon. So there we go. This is the first and only item you will get, actually, that is kind of coherent, that you will use in every part. And I would advise you to take a few extra so you can store it in the chest in the central room. Same with the key here, the earth key that you will use later on.